Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge.
Expedition Dino is a really cute box. You got Tim on the side, you got the Dino, and this box is really big. We'll look inside and see if it is big enough. So you're going to get a instruction manual in a few different languages. English will be second. And the rules really aren't that long. This is the contents page. So you're really only looking at like maybe, there's 4 pages here, but there isn't a whole lot to the game. You are going to get this big old board with this pot will come out in the center. And you can see you're going to get a box, a hammer, a bunch of these blocks. These blocks are really, really nice. You can squeeze them pretty good. You're going to get Tim. They'll be running around the board. He's pre-stickered, which is nice. And a big 6-sided dice. Let's set this up and see how it plays. So I want to do is show you a little bit of setup. So what you're going to do is, when this comes in, you're going to pop this out. This will be set aside for game purposes, and you're going to put this box inside here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to set up these blocks in 3 rows like this. You will put the cardboard dinosaur in here, and then you will build blocks around him. And these blocks you'll build will be completely random, whether the bones are up or down. And you just kind of put this out. And really, you can build whatever design you want, and you can make it higher or shorter or whatever. The rules recommend doing 2 3s like this, but you guys can be creative and do whatever you want. The first player is going to put Tim on any space on the board he wants. You might be able to see this. There's like a hammer and chisel. There's a search spot. So those are 3 possible spaces you're going to have on the board. On your turn, you're going to roll the dice. I rolled a 2. You can move him any direction you want to go in any spot. So this spot gives me the hammer and the chisel. So then what I would do, I would take the hammer and the chisel, and I will attempt to knock one of these out. And luckily I was able to do so. And as you can see, this has a bone on it, so I would put this aside and it will score me a victory point. If I was to roll on a spot that only allowed the hammer, then I couldn't use the chisel, and I'd be trying to use the hammer. That would be a swat. It didn't make it. A second swat would be this. On another turn, perhaps, I got a bone. That would score me a point. If something comes off and it doesn't have a bone on it, it'll be put on this spot right here on this little piece of cardboard you get. And if you get the search routine, what you can do is you can take one of these and roll it. And if you roll it like a dice and it comes up with a bone, then you score a point for that. The game is going to end as these blocks start to come down when the dinosaur falls over. When he falls over, the game is over. Whatever points you have on these bones, you count them up and you win. 1, 2, 3 for me. Yay! Expedition Dino is a huge haba game. This thing comes in a huge box. Look how big this thing is. And it had a dinosaur on it, and I was just super excited to play this with the boy. And there was another big box game haba had. I don't remember the name of it, but you pull it, the tower comes down, has a dragon on it. I was going to get that, and this was at the Ding and Dent at the Dice Tower Con 2017. Ended up picking up Expedition Dino in its place. It was half the price. Why not? And I don't particularly like spending a lot of money on children's games because they're kind of hit or miss, and the kids kind of grow bored of them quicker, and maybe I'm a little bit cheap when it comes to that. But this one was a good $20, $25 game, came in a big box, and had a dinosaur on it. Win-win, right? The game's okay. So it's better than a lot of the Candyland type games, but really you're rolling a dice, and you can either use the hammer or the chisel and the hammer, which the chisel and the hammer gives you better. And you're knocking over these blocks. If the block has a bone on it, you score a point, and if it doesn't, you lose. And then once there's like a dinosaur, paper, cardboard dinosaur in the middle, that doesn't have a stand. So when he falls over, the game is over. And then sometimes when they fall over, you'll be able to roll them, and if that lands on a bone, you score a point. The whole thing is rather weird.
So at first glance, I thought, well, this is really neat. This is kind of cool. But man, it is so luck-based. And I'm okay with kids' games being luck-based, but it's so luck-based. And the dexterity on it is just kind of silly. Like, why do I have to chisel off? I mean, every turn we were knocking over a block. It was never a question we weren't going to, you know? So why don't we just pick them up? Like, what was the whole deal with the chisel and hammer? Even my 4-year-old, every turn knocked over a block. So I don't know why we were going through the whole process of that chisel and hammer thing. There was just no doubt. It wasn't like break the ice where you're breaking, you know, don't break the ice where you're breaking the ice through. And, you know, okay, I know I'm going to get this one through, but I can't have them all fall. Nothing like that. Anyway, this is not a strong game. I think I'd play this with really young kids. My 7-year-old, it really wasn't appealing too much to her. She kind of sat through it. It was fine. But she didn't really want to play it again. And that's okay, but the box is from $4 to $99. I don't know that there's a whole lot here. The components are cool, the blocks are big, the dinosaur is neat, the theme is cool. And I know with kids games it's kind of hard because you don't want to be like, yes, this is different. It's not a roll and move. This is, you know, not a Candyland. This is not just something slapped with Disney on it or Nickelodeon. But the game was just missing something. I think there might be better dexterity games. I think there might be a better scoring mechanism. I don't know why you'd play this over, like, Don't Break the Ice, which I feel like is a better game, and it's mass market, and it's cheaper. But it is something different. If your little boy or girl loves dinosaurs, this could be it. If you really like the idea of using the chisel, I think some kids are really going to get into that, and my boy did. He's younger. He's only 4. So where does this stand? This is a really hard one for me because the game was expensive. So I have 2 types of kids games that we have. One, games that let my kids just keep and play. They play with their friends. They lose the components. Oh, well, we'll just throw it away when we lose all the pieces. And there's 2, the second one where we're probably going to play this game as a family. And I want to make sure we have the components. And we're going to get some life out of this game. It'll be something we keep for a long time. And maybe even keep for my grandkids one day when they come along. Fingers crossed. This one's probably going to go in the first category. I think I'm going to let the kids just play with this and lose the components. And it is what it is. It may have some resale value down the line because the components are neat and that. But I think I'm just going to let them go ahead and play with this one. And it's not something I'm going to hold back for our family game nights. And that should kind of tell you where it might feel. If you can find this one pretty cheap, the dinosaur lover in your family, then maybe this is something good to have. Or you can get that kid really young. I think this has a bearing. But I'm not sure this game has the legs that some other games have. And maybe for the money, there are some better choices, even with Haba or other companies. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.